All right, so it's noon Eastern Time. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for your interest in this webinar. And Karen van Vogt and myself, Giuseppe Leone, are team members of the online peer mediation project. And before we begin, a couple of things. You will notice that on your screen there is a button Q&A. And that's how you can ask questions that Karen will be happy to answer in the last part of our webinar, which, as you know, lasts 30 minutes. So before we begin, I would like also to remind you that this webinar is video recorded. And if you have signed up for a webinar, you will receive a link to the video recording of this webinar, also with an invitation to send any questions that you may have to Karen. Okay, so let me say something about our, let me give you an overview about our project so you have a better idea of what we do. So let's begin then. Our project is called Online Peer Mediation Platform. It's a project that is funded by the James Foundation. It is currently managed by the National Association of Peer Program Professionals, and it was previously managed by the Association for Conflict Resolution, Research and Training section. It's a 2-year project, and we have 4 specific goals. The first goal is to make available online as many resources as possible regarding peer mediation, and those resources are available on our website, and that is the topic of today's webinar. The second goal is to make available online an online training in basic peer mediation skills, and this module will be is ready, but will be rolled out next month. The third goal is to teach schools how their students can practice and sharpen their mediation skills online by participating in simulations with their trainer and mentor, so that they can practice what they learned in the classroom, and they can learn from one another. The fourth goal is online peer mediation services, and this is a module that will be available soon, which means that schools in the United States, and actually can be schools anywhere in the world, that have a peer mediation program can deliver online peer mediation services to other schools somewhere else in the country that don't have a peer mediation program. Now, and finally, our team consists of 5 specialists in peer mediation: Alexandra Aiello, Karen de Vogt, Cynthia Morton, Kristen Woodward, and Judy Tyndall. Someone expert in online mediation, that's me, and someone else, Jay Edwards, who is an expert in online technology. So now that you have an idea of what our project is all about, I will like to invite Karen to take from there. So Karen, if you can introduce yourself, and then you can show us which resources are available online. Go ahead.
Excellent, will do. Good, thank you very much, Giuseppe. I know this is an early morning for you, and we really appreciate you being there for us to facilitate our conversation today. My name is Karen de Vogt. I'm coming to you today from Long Beach, California. I am the previous director of a program called Mediator Mentors at Fresno State University, where we connected school-based mediation programs with college students who went into schools to facilitate and support teachers doing the work of peer mediation. I'm happy to be part of this project because the net gets cast much broader, much farther as we take this really important work of peer mediation to everyone. And you know, it's really appropriate that we're here today on the 21st. It's the International Day of Peace, and so I welcome you to be here doing this very peaceful thing. We're working together, taking up that cause of the United Nations to help human beings achieve dignity and equality and create peace together. So the resources we're showing you today may be really specific to something that you're involved in peer mediation. But please remember, the bigger goal is to bring our world to a more peaceful place. So let's jump in and take a look at what we've got. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so we're going to take a guided tour today through our resources. Here we go. Whoops. I thought I was going to do this really fancy thing here. And I'm going to just stop that. Here we go. Resources. So underneath resources, we have useful links. We're calling this useful links. This takes you to places and projects that are happening around the United States that are really involved in best practices. GEMS Foundation, as Giuseppe told you, is a group that's sponsoring our work and as an excellent steward of this work in many fields and in different parts of the nation. We have a link to Giuseppe's lab that involves virtual mediation for adults. Here's our Mediator Mentors link that takes you to the work that we're doing at Fresno State. Conflict Resolution in Education, that's another JAM-sponsored web site that brings in all things conflict resolution and, of course, peer mediation. Western Justice Center, I'm going to click on that link so you get a chance to see what one of these looks like. Western Justice Center is in Los Angeles, and they're involved with a number of projects in this area that are specially designed to bring support for peer mediation and conflict resolution. So we intend for this place to be sort of a one-stop shop for you to find all things peer mediation. If you go on the web, you do a Google search, you can find a whole bunch of stuff, but we've made your life easier. We've vetted this for you so that you can see what's just specific to peer mediation and school-based peer mediation, okay? So back to that resources button. We've gathered together research and best practice. And what I really love about this link on our website is that this takes you directly to a PDF that shows the research that's being done around the nation, illuminating best practice and helping you. When you tell the story of peer mediation to others, of course, you need to come at it with this kind of conversation, with this background of research that's been done already in the field. So Tricia Jones, her article is a seminal piece in this field of peer mediation, and she is one of the founding thinkers in this work with Association of Conflict Resolution. But you'll see as you click into these that you can find the PDF for these pieces of research. Our most current piece of research is something that was done by myself and Pamela Guerin at Fresno State on direct instruction and conflict resolution with peer mediation and growing social emotion development. So you can go right into the article. It will help you if you're doing a piece of research to find, to begin your lit review. So that should be helpful to you if you're looking at this from an academic stand. Our next link under resources, there we go, is standards. I think my little button is, there we go, standards. And here, just as in all things in schools, we have standards, national standards in English, language, arts, science, math. Well, there are standards in conflict resolution, peer mediation as well. So this button here takes you to the standards that were developed by the Association for Conflict Resolution 2007. This is the gold standard. So let's say you have a program already. You may not have realized that these standards existed. This could be an excellent resource for you to go in, dig around, see what's there in terms of being sure that your program aligns to best practices and what we would expect an excellent peer mediation program to address. The work that we've done in developing our program with peer mediation online addresses these standards. So that's where we are with that one. Okay. Other standards that are available for you to use and share Our program standards that were shared by NAPPP, who is our steward right now on this project, and this is helps you see what would be an appropriate checklist for getting started with putting together a peer program. Alrighty. And again, this is another link in terms of evaluating and looking at peer programs, and that again was shared by Judy with NAPPP. So please dig in, take a look at these standards when you are sharing the program with other people and getting started. Again, this is a good link to take. You might even want to bring this website into your principal or administrator and just be able to click through it together. So here is the next link, curriculum. We have been gathering in curriculum from across the United States, and again, we're vetting it with this panel of experts to take a look at it and to be sure that this isn't just something fun and may not have big depth, but instead is something that's being used and we consider to be best practice. This is all free for you, by the way. This is all public domain information. So if you're starting a program, maybe you've been writing some curriculum yourself, take a look at these resources. These are here for you. We have, as you can see, a variety of programs from around the United States, peaceful resolution for Oklahoma students, peer mediation training from South Africa, resolving conflict through communication, Australia, New Jersey. We also have Yale has their New Jersey State Bar for use in schools. We have our Fresno State materials here. So please click around, mess around in here and find some good stuff that you can use and modify, implement. It's all free for you to get your hands on. Then the last link that I want to show you is media. Okay. And under our media button, we have been archiving, if you like, work that we're doing in our online peer mediation platform. So if you are just coming to this for the first time and you'd like a little background about, well, what is this thing? You can go to our media button and watch some seminars that we have offered, or webinars rather, to people, helping them understand the ins and outs of the program. One of the links I'd really, really strongly encourage you to watch is the Rockdale County Public School students. These are students that piloted this work with us. When we were first starting the project, they were willing to dig in with us and do simulations of peer-mediated conflict, and this is their testimony to the power of this work. So, you know, we're finding in our conversation with practitioners that some people are a little bit, you know, nervous about an online platform with kids, and of course there have been some unfortunate things happen, as we know, with cyberbullying and so on. However, for these students, this is a place where they feel very much at home, and regardless of conflict and challenges in other fields, this works extremely well, and they find great power in using online platform to resolve their conflicts. And as one of our mediator mentors said, you know, sometimes this is a place where, that is online, is a place where conflict has grown. Hey, why not be a place where we can resolve it as well? So please watch this one. Come in here and take a check on this. We have recently been interviewed by the Texas Conflict Coach out of Patty Porter, and our panel came together and talked about all things online peer mediation, and that was kind of an exciting adventure for us. And we want you to hear the questions that were addressed and answered. You just click on this link. And here's the last thing that I wanted to show you on the website. So this is really just sort of a browse through an open house, if you like, for our platform. But there's a direction we want to grow our work in, and that is to support college students on their campus to resolve conflict. So just as our vision, as Giuseppe showed you, was to connect maybe a high school with another high school that has peer mediation with another school that doesn't have peer mediation, we could do the same thing on a college campus. So if a college campus has a peer mediation program put together and has trained mediators, they could reach out and offer mediation to other college students on other college campuses that don't have those resources. So we have tapped the expertise of Bill Warders, and these are resources that we have linked under our resources button, useful links. But Giuseppe is going to show us the video so that we get good audio that go along with that. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to give the screen back over to Giuseppe.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
so
thanks.
let me find the video. Okay.
Greetings. I'm Bill Waters, and I'm here tonight because I am happy to hear about college level or high school peer mediators that are interested in working and developing their skills. I was a college mediator, and I have a great deal of respect for folks who do the work. And over the years, I've developed some materials that I think are useful for people who are wanting to learn about them. So I'm just going to share a few of those in this brief presentation. The focus of the session tonight is going to be Conflict Management in Higher Education Resource Center that I developed from a grant I got way back in 2000, October of 2000, which is a long time ago in internet years. The website lives at campus-adr.org for campus-alternative-dispute-resolution.org. You can see the homepage there. It looks like where I went to undergraduate college, University of California, Santa Cruz. I'm a banana slug. In family housing, we started a mediation center. And so that was my very first effort as a campus mediator. Well, what I want to tell you about tonight is just some resources that we've got. I'm going to take us to the skill training complex. So you can see the red oval there. And we're going to take a look at the different buildings have different resources. We're going to look at the role play and case study collection, which provides us with a number of simulations that you can practice with if you're doing your online mediation work. You can see the web address there. When you go to the role play collection, you can either just hit search and it'll show you all the ones in the collection, or you can filter it down by looking for words in the title or choosing roles. If you want a case that involves a staff person on campus, you can select that, or you can check the descriptive text of the case and search it that way. You're going to get a result of a particular case. I've selected the details for a case, and you can see here this case is called Borrowed and Busted, and it's a student versus a student case. And you have a mediator case overview that provides a little bit of a background on the case, but doesn't give away all the details to the mediator. And then you also, as you scroll down, you have disputant A and disputant B scripts that have the same overview and then their personal perspective on the thing. So what you would do would be you would print out that page and then cut it up and give separate sections to each participant, or you would copy and paste it perhaps into an email to the different disputants that are involved and do it that way. If you go back to the campus resource center, I also want to tell you about the conflict resolution. There's a section of the site called the Services Center, and this is for folks who are maybe a little bit more ambitious and are interested in helping to develop programming on their campus or expand what's already there. So when you get to the Services Center, I'm going to point you at the Conflict Resolution Program Development Incubator. Now, some of these materials are quite old, so I'll bet you'll find a dead link or two in here, but hopefully you're brave enough to continue. This page shows some of the things that I think are useful when you're building programs. I've had the luck to build 4 different programs on college campuses over my career, and so the section, Philosophical Foundations, you can see there, looks at some of the reasons why it makes sense. And then I'm pointing the green arrow at a packet I built some years ago that was called Ready, Set, Go, Designing and Managing a Program. And it has handouts and different materials that I used. I made it into a PDF. I used to give it out at workshops. So you might find some of that interesting. There's a variety of other materials in this section about kind of getting a program started, but also there's a directory of campus-based programs that's quite out of date, but you might find interesting to see how widespread they've been. And there's also materials like helping you with things like advertising and outreach and things like that. So I want to say, go mediators, go team. I think that you're already smart if you're interested in this topic, and practicing online is a really good idea. Practice is very useful for many reasons, and helping us figure out how to do it well with technology is one of the best ones I can think of. So thanks for your work and your activity, and I hope you have a good webinar in my absence.
All right.
Excellent.
Thanks.
Excellent.
Okay. I think now it's time we can open up a Q&A session.
Yeah.
And while we wait to see if there are some questions, I would like to remind you that we're always interested in adding new resources to our website. So if you have any material or any document, any success story that you would like to share with other schools in the United States or the rest of the world, for that matter, we would like to publish your material. And if useful, we can set up a video interview with you or a webinar so that you can share your lessons learned, so other schools don't need to go through the same experience, and they can learn from your own experience. So the idea is to keep adding new material to a website, so that if you go there, you can find the latest information about peer mediation. Was there someone else, Karen, that you would like to add?
There was just one other button I wanted to share on our page here. So I'm going to go back and share my screen.
Go ahead.
And take us back to the home page. But yeah, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, we're looking to grow this network. We want you to use these materials, share these materials with other people. Share with us other things that you're using that you find effective. And our another call to action is to begin to follow us like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, to keep up with things that are coming. We put things out on Twitter that are current, that are happening in the now, that you might be interested in. So we want to cast the net wide, grow this network, and make sure that we have only the best stuff just for peer mediation right here, so that it becomes a one-stop shop for everyone. We have a button here where you can contact us. As we say, we'll do some Q&A right now, but if you need to go, or you came in and are thinking of other ways to getting things you'd like to find out from us, you can contact us. You click on the Contact Us button. It takes you to a place where you can put in your email, ask your question, and then we'll get back with you right away. We also have a new button, Frequently Asked Questions, and that helps answer questions that you may find that people have in the field, or maybe that you yourself have. And some of the questions near the bottom help you think about, what does this mean in an online context as well. So, jump in, use this. You can't break it. Click around, have a good time, use what you can, share, bring other things that we can add to the pile. Okay, so let's do some Q&A.
Okay, so Sherry, Karen, you can stop share. Yeah, all right. Okay, so let's see in the last 5 minutes if we have any questions. In the meantime, as Karen mentioned, we are fully aware that it is very important to make sure that any activity done online by the students is under the direct supervision of the direct school. So throughout our programs, we make sure to repeat the concept that we never have contact directly with students. We only have contacts with their supervisor and their school, to make sure that anything that students do is under the direct supervision of someone who knows what they're doing. Okay, So if you have any questions, so you're welcome to send your questions now, because we only have 4 minutes left before the end of this webinar. We also look forward to see you and invite you to our next webinar, which is going to happen next month. So we will roll out an online training in basic peer mediation skills. So even though, actually, Karen, would you like to say something about that?
Yeah.
That module, right?
We'll do. We have 10 modules that we've created around key skills in peer mediation. We've created PowerPoint, and then it's being narrated by high school students, so it's got a young voice that goes with it. We're rolling it out on a Moodle platform. So right now it's being piloted by one of our school-based supporters, Alexandria Leo. She's doing this with her students in middle school, and we want to make sure that it's got all the buttons and all the pieces that are required. And then in October, our plan is October 20th on Conflict Resolution Day. We're doing these big things around big days to share this. We'll announce that day to be sure that we have piloted all of it before we make it live.
So that will be October 20th, you said?
That's our plan right now, is October 20th, yeah.
Okay, so if you have an interest to participate in that webinar, please join us via Twitter and Facebook, and you can find the link on any page on our website. And we have only 2 minutes left, so let me remind you once again that you will receive the link to the video recording of this webinar, and we will invite you to send any questions that you may have directly to Karen, and Karen will answer them. All right. Was there anything else, Karen, that you want to point out?
I'm looking at my notes here. I think we've got it. You know, that call the action to take this work and go forward with it. Share it with everyone. That's important.
All right. Okay. Well, since I don't see any questions at this moment, I would like to, Karen and I would like to thank you for your participation, and we look forward to see you again at our next webinar. And if you have any questions, just let us know. All right. Thank you very much then.
Thanks for participating. Thank you, everyone.
Goodbye.